Today we're going to the Last Kingdom board game from Gamelyn Games. It's designed by John D Clair, where it says Destiny is All. Now this is based on the book series by Bernard Cornwell. This is the first of it, The Last Kingdom, but went over several books. Bernard Cornwell is known for his nonfiction, historic fiction, I should say, historic fiction series. He's covered several of them and has done, accounts of famous battles and the like. And this is one of his critically acclaimed series dealing with early England, kind of the formation of England and how it dealt with the Vikings and the Danes and the different factions of England at the time. As you can see here, it was picked up by Netflix and done in this series. I just picked this up. I watched this on Netflix and then decided, you know what, I'll pick this up. I did not read the whole series, but I watched the whole series. This is one of those situations where the book is fine. I like Bernard Cornwell and his series. He did a whole series of Sharp, that was in the Napoleonic era. And I've liked those series. I liked this book, but I did like this series. I did like the TV series just a little bit better. I thought the acting was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't, something. It wasn't Game of Thrones. Let's put it that way. But it wasn't bad. I did like this series, and I like how, the series kept somewhat true to the books, but the book is not, day by day history. There's some license taken in the books, and then there's even more license taken in the series with actual history. But it's compelling and interesting. The movie was then they came out a movie on this. The movie was not as good. They tried to do a little bit too much in a shorter period of time, and it just wasn't as good as the series. At least that's my opinion, and some of the opinions of the people that I talked with about this. Anyway, so you're getting a book and a movie today, or at least a series, along with an unboxing. So what is this about? Now, normally I kind of shy away from IP. When you have games that are based on IP, intellectual property of something else, they usually do not live up to the hype. And so I was going to shy away from this, but Gamelyn Games, I do like their tiny epic games. I like their game offerings. But then I saw more and more commentary on this one, and turns out this is a good game. A lot of people like this game. And so if you are a fan of the book and the series, then you probably would like this because, it has some of the same characters. It has some of the same notion that is going on in the books and series of this always changing factions and the the give and take and the back and forth amongst the factions. I think that's captured in this game. If you're not a fan of the series, then you still might like this game. This is it's kind of a dudes on the map, but it's kind of a diplomatic game. There's a lot of political intrigue and a lot going on here in a small space. Here's the back of the box. As you can see, you get some minis. Come on, we're getting plastic. What's not to like? You get cards, and again, this showing areas. It's kind of an area control type situation. You're getting some of these bands here to put on the minis because these people are going to be changing factions, so you probably need those bands to keep track of that. It's for 2 to 5 players, age 14 plus, and it looks like it's 30 minutes per player, maybe something like that. It's hard to read there with this small white font, but let's see. The kingdoms of Britain are at war. Many have already fallen to the invading Danes, leaving the great kingdom of Wessex standing alone and defiant under the command of King Alfred. You are one of the great commanders and politicians in this war-torn land. known today as England. Both Saxon and Dane armies openly battle for dominance, and it's up to you to tilt the scales of power. To claim these lands, you will need to tread a dangerous path between both sides of the conflict. Will you betray your allies for power? What part will you play in both in the birth? Golly, I need some coffee. Birth of the nation, and will you ultimately rule it all? So let's get inside this box and see what we have in here. As I said, the Danes or Vikings have a very much of a strong position in the north, and then you have the factions, the rest of the factions of England, well, soon to be England, eventually England, vying against each other, and it's done very well. The series, as I said, I only went through the first book, but then I jumped into the series, and I really liked the series. So here's your rule book. You've got a quick reference guide. I like it when they use the space on the back of the book. It's only 16 pages, and that 16th page is the reference guide. So, and you've got examples here on 14 and 15. So really, you're looking at 11 pages of rules, and these are, and there's a lot of imagery and setup. Here's all your components that you get. There's a lot in this box here. Then you got your game setup, step by step, and then you get the game component overview. What are the different components? Here's the game board, and you got terminology. So really, the rules proper probably start around 7. So you don't have that many rules here. So there's terminology, there's gameplay, there's phase 1 is draft, phase 2 is conflict. You take a turn, you resolve conflict, you win conflict, and then you have phase 3 is cleanup. So there you have it. So really not that complicated of a game at all. And we have some of these shields here that are going to have some of the key elements of gameplay. So you've got, and they're all, looks like they're all the same here with the main characters. There is the main character from the series. Then, of course, there's King Alfred there. Very nice. Okay, then we've got some cardboard to punch out here. Dual-sided. All the different characters and some administrative counters in there. And some currency, it looks like, or maybe that's like the influence. Then here's the board. We'll take a look at that. But let's look at these minis. We got a little bag in here. And you've got some more. Here's your pieces to put on the board. These are kind of like your armies or influence or what have you. And then these are the leaders that are on here. You've got some bigger pieces like fortress or some sort, or city. Ships here. Oh, kind of hard to get out there. Looks like that's King Alfred there, maybe. No, I don't think so. I think that's somebody else. Here we go. Who's this right here? All kinds of nice stuff there. Let's look at these bigger cards here. Nice, thick cards here. They're glossy. Siegfried and Eric, Ragnar Younger. If you've read the books or watched the series, you know all these characters. Uhtred. Uhtred is the main character. Gotta like Uhtred. And we got these cards here. See if I can get these cracked open. Gotta leave time for the board, don't we? Okay. So we've got all these cards, and they're good thickness. And they're going to tell you what to do on the board. Again, this is more area control. So there's a lot going on. There's some symbology there. You got the reds are the Danes, and then you have the three factions in England, which are the West Saxons, the Mercians, and the Northumbrians. And I'm sure this iconography is all explained and probably second nature once you get into the game itself. Okay. And there's different phases, so there's going to be different. So you got 1, 2. So some of these you're going to get at different times in the game. Looks like there might be some different seeding of the decks. And here are the characters. Here's a little bit, banish and summon. So they have some couple of different abilities, it looks like. Do you like Breda or do you hate Breda? Yeah. You start off liking her. I'll leave it at that. No spoilers here. Uhtred. Tactical strike and change your heart. Okay, so there we have that. So I think good quality. Again, you get a lot of little minis in here. I think this is this Uhtred here? Oh, don't know if you can tell on the back here. Just has a regular thing here. Anyway, a lot of stuff in here, a lot of goodies. Let's look at the board. I'm gonna have to move some stuff out of the way here to look at the board. Mounted board, which is showing the key regions of England at that time. Let's move some of the stuff off here so I can actually get on the board here. Go up a little bit. There we go. Getting the whole board in there in the picture at once. So you've got these tracks here. This is your affinity track. Again, you're going to be changing back and forth between some of these factions. Here's the Danes, the West Saxons, the Mercians, and the Northumbrians. There's two different phases, I guess, of those cards, 1 and 2. Here's a place for to play out some of these different factions cards. Here's Wessex, East Anglia, Mercia, Wales, and Northumbria. A lot of Viking, Dane activity up here, and but they kind of go all over. And then Wales and Mercia and East Anglia. And of course, you got Wessex, where King Alfred is at. Well, there you have it. That is what you get in the box. Good stuff there. As I said before, if you are a fan of the series, either the books or the TV series, then this is probably, a no-brainer to pick up, because it's got all the trappings of the series. And again, the whole way it kind of does a back and forth on the affinities or the alliances. The political nature of this is captured in the game, as well as it was in, hopefully as well as it was in the series and books. So I like it. I'm excited to get this to the table. I haven't got my whole family through the series yet, so my family's probably not going to like the series as much as I did, but, who knows. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. So you got a book review and a movie review, or a series review, and a unboxing. What more do you want from me? Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Take care. Thanks for watching.